perfume cost 1500, another cost 8000 and 30,000 and another 50,000. But here is the question, what exactly are you paying for? Is the 50,000 perfume really using ingredients that are 30 times better? Does a 30,000 rupees perfume smells 30 times better than a 1000 rupees perfume? Is the juice inside the bottle actually worth that much? Or are we paying for the bottle, the packaging, the celebrity, the advertisement, the history, the name, the ingredients, the research, or simply the feeling of luxury? Because here is something most perfume buyers don't realize. The price of a perfume is not the price of liquid inside the bottle, it is the price of an entire ecosystem. Today we are going to open that ecosystem and find out exactly why expensive perfume costs so much. Hello everyone, my name is Manoj Singh. Welcome to Fragrance Wisdom. Let's imagine a perfume bottle sitting on a store shelf. Inside it is fragrance concentrate, alcohol, water and other support formula that depends on the product. But when you buy the perfume, you are not buying the liquid, you are buying the fragrance formula, raw materials, development, testing, packaging, bottle manufacturing, cap and atomizer, box, marketing, retail, distribution, brand positioning, and sometimes decades or even centuries of heritage. That's why a retail price can be higher than the raw material cost. And this is where things become more interesting. Let's start with what everyone assume is responsible for the price, the ingredient. And yes, ingredient can make a significant difference. But here is the first myth we need to destroy. Expensive perfume does not automatically mean expensive ingredients. A perfumer can create a beautiful fragrance using relatively affordable materials, and another perfumer can use extremely expensive natural materials, yet still not smell better to you. The value of ingredients depend on several things like scarcity, extraction difficulty, yield, quality, origin, consistency, sustainability, processing, and of course availability. Now let's talk about natural materials. Imagine a bottle containing natural jasmine absolute. To create that material you need flowers. Those flowers need land, water, worker, harvesting, processing, extraction, transportation, quality control, and sometimes huge quantity of flowers. Some natural materials are extremely resource intensive. So when you hear this perfume contains expensive natural ingredients, there may genuinely be significant cost behind those natural materials, but that doesn't explain our 50,000 price tag. For that, we need to look beyond ingredients. Now we reach something consumers rarely see, research and development. Before you smell the final perfume, there may have been months or years of work. A fragrance concept may begin with creating something modern, elegant, and sensual. The perfumer develops a formula, it gets evaluated, sometimes isn't right, another version is created, then another, then another. The fragrance may go through many modifications. There are evaluations, stability tests, safety concentration, packaging compatibility testing, consumer testing in some cases, regulatory reviews, manufacturing trials. All of this cost money, and that cost eventually become part of the business. Now look at the bottle. This is where luxury perfumes can become surprisingly expensive. A simple glass bottle is relatively straightforward, but luxury packaging may involve custom glass molds, heavy glass, special caps, metal component, decorative finishing, engraving, complex atomizer, magnetic closures, hand assembly, special boxes, and sometimes the bottle itself become part of the identity of the perfume. Think about iconic perfume bottle. You can recognize some of them without even seeing the name. That's branding power. Now put that bottle inside a luxury box, then another outer package, perhaps special paper, embossing, foil, ribbon, magnetic closure, presentation material, everything adds cost. But here is an important distinction. Packaging can increase the price without necessarily improving the smell. This is why you need to decide what you are buying. Are you buying perfume or are you buying the complete luxury experience? Neither is wrong, but they are different things. Now we reach one of biggest expenses, marketing. Imagine launching a perfume, you need people to know it exists. So brand invest in advertising, photography, television commercials, digital campaigns, influencers, celebrities, events, billboards, retail displays, social media, public relations. A fragrance doesn't sell itself because it smells good. Consumers need to discover it. And luxury brands often sell something that much bigger than fragrance. They sell identity. The perfume doesn't magically appears on the shelf. There is a supply chain. Manufacturer, warehouse, distributor, retailer, shopping malls, online platforms, sales staff, storage, logistics. Each stage has cost and retailers need margins to operate. This is another reason the final retail price can be higher than production cost. Now we come to the most fascinating part. Luxury doesn't always work according to normal economics. In many categories, higher price can actually increase perceived desirability. Why? Because scarcity creates exclusivity and exclusivity creates status. Imagine a perfume that costs 1000 rupees. Now imagine the same brand creates a limited edition with a beautiful bottle, limited production, exclusive distribution, and a price tag of 30,000. Some consumers may perceive the second product is more prestigious. The price itself becomes part of the product identity. That's luxury branding. Absolutely not. This is perhaps the most important lesson of today's episode. A 30,000 rupees perfume can be extraordinary. A 3,000 rupees perfume can also be extraordinary. And sometimes you may actually prefer a 3,000 rupees perfume because fragrance is subjective. Your nose doesn't know the price tag, your brain does. When buying an expensive perfume, ask, do I love the smell? Is the quality noticeable? Does the composition feel smooth and well constructed? Does it offer something unique? Am I paying for ingredients or primarily for the brand and packaging? Does the price make sense for me? Luxury is personal. There is no universal correct price. Let's create a simple way of thinking about the market. 500 to 1500 rupees is a affordable fragrance market where focus is usually on accessibility and value. 1500 rupees to 5000 rupees is a mass market and affordable premiums where you can find excellent fragrance in this range. 5000 rupees to 15,000 rupees is a premier designer territory where more emphasis may be placed on ingredients, presentation, branding and development. And 50,000 and above is a luxury and niche territory. Here you increasingly paying for exclusivity, craftsmanship, brand positioning, rare materials and sometimes limited production. But remember, these are broad market categories, not equal guarantees. So, why does expensive perfume cost so much? Because you are not paying for one thing, you are paying for entire ecosystem. Ingredients, perfumery, research, testing, bottling, packaging, marketing, distribution, retail, brand heritage, exclusivity, and sometimes you are paying for a feeling. The perfume industry teaches us something fascinating about luxury. A perfume isn't just a mixture of aromatic materials, it's chemistry, art, design, business, psychology, history, and storytelling, all contained inside one bottle. Remember this, price tells you what the brand is charging. It doesn't automatically tells you what your nose should love. A 50,000 rupees perfume isn't necessarily 50 times better than a 1000 rupees perfume, and a 1000 rupees perfume isn't inferior because of its cost. The real question isn't how expensive is this perfume. The real question is what I am getting for this price, and is it worth to me. So the next time you stand in front of a luxury fragrance counter, don't just look at the price, look beyond the bottle. Think about the ingredients, the perfumer, the development, the packaging, the marketing, the history, and most importantly, the smell. Because once you understand what you are exactly paying for, you become a much smarter fragrance buyer. In our next episode, we will talk about natural versus synthetic materials. Thank you for joining me. I am Manoj, and this is Fragrance Wisdom, where we go beyond reviews into the world of fragrance wisdom. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and keep discovering the incredible world hidden inside every bottle.
You left your coat on the backroom chair, fingerprints on the glassware.